Anna Martinez stood in the bread aisle of Savamart grocery store with her hand on a loaf of wheat bread. Her heart was pounding. Her palms were sweating. She looked left, looked right. No one was watching. The security guard was at the front of the store. The cameras pointed the other way. She could do this. Had to do this. Her children were hungry. Had been hungry for 3 days. There was no choice. Anna slipped the bread into her bag. A worn canvas bag she carried everywhere. Then a jar of peanut butter. Then a small carton of milk. Her hands shook as she moved through the store. Acting casual. Pretending to shop. But taking items. Hiding them. She had never stolen anything in her life. Not as a child. Not as a teenager. Not as an adult. She was a good person. Honest. Hard-working. The kind of person who returned extra change when cashiers made mistakes. But desperation changes people. Makes them do things they never thought possible. Anna was 38 years old. A widow of 6 months. Her husband Carlos had died of a heart attack. Sudden. Unexpected. He was only 42. Had no history of heart problems. Just collapsed one day at work. Gone before the ambulance arrived. No life insurance. They had let it lapse years ago. Couldn't afford the premiums. Carlos had always said he would get it again. Always said next month. Next year. When things were better. But things never got better. And now he was gone and Anna was alone with 3 children and no safety net. She had 2 jobs. Cleaned houses during the day. Worked at a laundromat at night. But it wasn't enough. The bills kept coming. Rent. Utilities. Medical expenses. The kids needed things. Clothes. School supplies. Food. Always food. This week had been particularly bad. One of her cleaning clients had canceled. Said they didn't need her services anymore. That was $200 a month gone. And the laundromat had cut her hours. Business was slow. They didn't need her 5 nights a week. Just 3 now. Anna had done the math. Over and over. It didn't work. She made maybe $1,500 a month now. Rent was $700. Utilities $120. That left $680 for everything else. Food. Transportation. Kids' needs. Medical. It wasn't enough. Wasn't close to enough. She had gone to food banks. Stood in line for hours. Took whatever they gave her. But food banks had limits. Once a month. Once every 2 weeks. And they only gave basics. Canned goods. Rice. Beans. Nothing fresh. Nothing the kids actually wanted to eat. She had applied for assistance. Food stamps. Cash aid. Everything she qualified for. But the application process took weeks. Months. And she needed food now. Today. Her children were hungry now. So here she was. Stealing. Becoming a thief. Because what else could she do? Let her children starve? Watch them go to bed crying because their stomachs hurt? No. She would steal. Would do whatever it took. Anna made it to the exit. Almost there. Almost free. Just a few more steps and she would be outside. Would be safe. Would be able to feed her babies. Excuse me, ma'am. Anna froze. Her blood turned to ice. She turned slowly. A security guard. Young. Maybe 25. He didn't look happy. Can you come with me, please? Anna's legs felt weak. She thought she might faint. But she nodded. Followed him to a small office at the back of the store. The store manager was there. A woman in her 50s. Stern expression. Arms crossed. Empty your bag, the manager said. Anna did. Pulled out the bread. The peanut butter. The milk. Also a box of crackers. A can of tuna. Some apples. About $30 worth of food total. Did you pay for these? Anna shook her head. Couldn't speak. Tears were streaming down her face. Then you're under arrest for shoplifting. The manager picked up the phone. Called the police. Anna sat in the security office and cried. Not quiet tears. Full sobs. This was it. Her life was over. She would go to jail. Her children would go into foster care. She had destroyed everything. The police arrived 20 minutes later. 2 officers. A man and a woman. They were professional. Not unkind but not sympathetic either. Just doing their job. They handcuffed Anna. Read her rights. Led her out of the store in handcuffs where everyone could see. Anna kept her head down. Couldn't look at people. Couldn't bear the shame. At the station they processed her. Fingerprints. Photos. Paperwork. Then put her in a holding cell. Told her she would see a judge in the morning. Anna sat on the metal bench and stared at the wall. What had she done? How had her life come to this? 6 months ago she had been a wife. A mother. A normal person with a normal life. Now she was a criminal. A thief. The lowest of the low. She thought about her children. Maria was 10. Jose was 8. Little Sophia was 5. They were home alone right now. Maria was watching her siblings. Anna had told her she would be back in an hour. That was 5 hours ago. Maria must be terrified. Must think something terrible had happened. Anna had no one to call. No family nearby. Her parents were in Mexico. Carlos's parents were dead. No siblings. No close friends. She was alone. Completely alone. Morning came slowly. Anna didn't sleep. Couldn't. Just sat and worried and cried and prayed. At 9 a.m. they came for her. Took her to the courthouse. Led her into a courtroom in handcuffs and an orange jumpsuit. Made her stand before a judge. The courtroom was cold. Sterile. The judge sat high above everyone. A man in his 60s. Gray hair. Glasses. He looked tired. Like he had seen too much. Done this too many times. Ana Martinez, the judge, read from a paper. Charged with petty theft. Shoplifting. How do you plead? Anna's public defender, a young man fresh out of law school who had spoken to her for maybe 5 minutes, leaned over. Plead guilty, he whispered. Ask for mercy. Tell him your situation. Anna stood. Her voice shook. Guilty, Your Honor. The judge looked at her. Really looked. Not just at a case file. But at her. A person. Tell me what happened, he said. Anna took a deep breath. I stole food, Your Honor. Bread. Peanut butter. Milk. About $30 worth. I didn't have money. My children haven't eaten in 3 days. I was desperate. Do you have a job? 2 jobs, Your Honor. But it's not enough. My husband died 6 months ago. I'm trying but I can't make ends meet. I'm sorry. I know it was wrong. But my children were hungry. The judge was quiet. Wrote something down. Then he said, what's your monthly income? About $1,500. And your expenses? Rent is $700. Utilities $120. That leaves $680 for food and everything else for 4 people. Have you applied for assistance? Yes, Your Honor. 2 months ago. Still waiting to hear back. The judge nodded. Wrote more notes. Then he looked up. Ms. Martinez, what you did was wrong. Theft is theft regardless of the reason. I could sentence you to jail time. Community service. Probation. That would be within my rights. Anna felt her knees buckle. This was it. She was going to jail. But the judge continued, I'm not going to do that. Anna looked up. What? The judge removed his glasses. Rubbed his eyes. Ms. Martinez, I've been a judge for 32 years. I've seen thousands of cases. And I've learned something. The law is meant to serve justice, not create more victims. He paused. You didn't steal for greed. You didn't steal for drugs or alcohol. You stole to feed your children. You're not a criminal. You're a desperate mother. And our system has failed you. The courtroom was silent. Everyone listening. So here's my sentence, the judge said. I'm fining you $50 for the theft. But I'm suspending that fine. You don't have to pay it. Anna blinked. I don't understand. I'm not punishing you, Ms. Martinez. You've been punished enough by life. Instead, I'm going to help you. The judge looked at the bailiff. Call social services. Get someone here now. Ms. Martinez needs emergency food stamps. Emergency cash assistance. Whatever programs are available, I want her enrolled today. Not in 2 months. Today. The bailiff nodded. Started making calls. The judge wasn't done. He looked at the store manager who had come to testify. Ma'am, how much did she steal? Value-wise. About $30. The judge pulled out his wallet. Took out 2 20s. Here's 40. That covers the stolen items plus $10 extra. The store is made whole. The manager looked shocked. Your Honor, you don't have to. I want to. Consider it paid. Then the judge did something that made Anna start crying again. He looked at the courtroom. There were maybe 20 people there. Other defendants. Lawyers. Court staff. Random observers. I'm going to say something unusual, the judge said. Ms. Martinez's story is not unique. There are hundreds of families in this county struggling the way she is. Going hungry. Choosing between rent and food. Falling through the cracks of systems that are supposed to help them. He paused. Anyone here who wants to help can contribute to a fund I'm setting up. For families like Ms. Martinez. Families who need immediate help. Not in 2 months. Right now. If you want to contribute, see the bailiff after this hearing. The judge looked back at Anna. Ms. Martinez, I'm dismissing the charges. You have no criminal record. This never happened. Go home to your children. And please let us help you. Anna couldn't speak. Could only cry. The bailiff removed her handcuffs. Led her out of the courtroom. In the hallway, a social worker was waiting. A kind woman named Patricia. Patricia spent 2 hours with Anna. Filled out paperwork. Made phone calls. By noon, Anna had emergency food stamps loaded onto a card. $300. Effective immediately. She also qualified for cash assistance. $200 a month. It wasn't much, but it was something. Patricia also connected Anna with a non-profit that helped widows. They could assist with job placement, childcare, housing, all things Anna desperately needed. When Anna left the courthouse, she couldn't believe it. She had walked in expecting jail. Walked out with help. Real help. But the story didn't end there. When Anna got home, there was a news van in front of her house. A reporter approached. Ms. Martinez, can we talk to you? Your story is all over social media. People want to help. Anna was confused. What? Someone in the courtroom recorded the judge's speech on their phone. Posted it online. It went viral. Millions of views. People are calling it the most compassionate sentence they've ever seen. Anna watched the video on the reporter's phone. There was the judge. Saying those words. About failed systems. About helping instead of punishing. And at the bottom, comments. Thousands of them. This is what justice should look like. That judge restored my faith in humanity. How do we donate to that fund he mentioned? The reporter said Judge Williams has received over $50,000 in donations in the past 6 hours. All of it going to help families like yours. And people are asking about you specifically. Wanting to help you directly. Anna couldn't process it. $50,000? For families like hers? It didn't seem real. Over the next week, Anna's life changed completely. The story kept spreading. More donations poured in. Judge Williams set up an official fund. The Williams Family Emergency Fund. By the end of the month, it had $200,000. And people sent money directly to Anna. Through GoFundMe pages set up by strangers. Through the non-profit Patricia had connected her with. In total, Anna received almost $15,000. It was more money than she had seen in her life. More than Carlos had made in a year. She paid 3 months' rent in advance. Bought food. Real food. Fresh fruits and vegetables. Meat. bread that wasn't stale. Her children ate until they were full for the first time in months. She bought them new clothes, shoes that fit, school supplies, things they needed but she couldn't afford. And she saved the rest, put it in a bank account for emergencies, for the next crisis that would inevitably come. But at least now she had a buffer, a safety net, something between her family and disaster. Judge Williams invited Anna back to his courtroom a month later. Not for a hearing, just to talk, to see how she was doing. "I want to thank you," Anna said. "You saved my life, saved my children." The judge shook his head. "I just did what was right, what any decent person should do when they see someone struggling. But you could have sent me to jail, could have made everything worse. I could have. And that's exactly the problem with our system. We punish poverty. We criminalize desperation. We pretend that laws exist in a vacuum separate from human circumstances. But they don't. Laws should serve people, not the other way around." Anna nodded. "Because of you, I have hope again. I can feed my children. I can sleep at night without panic attacks. You gave me back my dignity." Judge Williams smiled. "You never lost your dignity, Ms. Martinez. You're a mother who loves her children, who would do anything for them. That's not shameful. That's beautiful." They talked for an hour. The judge asked about her children, about her jobs, about her plans for the future. Anna told him everything. Told him she was taking night classes, working toward a certification in medical billing. It would take 2 years, but it would lead to a better job, better pay, a real future. The judge was proud. "That's wonderful. You're building something." "Because of you," Anna said. "Because you saw me as a person, not just a case number." 2 years later, Anna graduated from her program, got certified, found a job at a medical office making $18 an hour. It wasn't a fortune, but it was stable. Benefits, regular hours. She could be home with her children at night. She went to the courthouse to tell Judge Williams, brought her children with her. They wanted to meet the man who had helped their mother, the man who had changed their lives. Judge Williams shook hands with Maria and Jose, knelt down to talk to Sophia. "You have a wonderful mother," he told them. "She fought for you when things were hard. Never forget that." The children nodded solemnly. They knew. Anna had told them the whole story. About stealing. About getting caught. About the judge who showed mercy. She hadn't hidden it. Hadn't been ashamed. She wanted them to understand that people make mistakes. That desperation can make us do things we never thought we would. But that there are still good people in the world. People who see past the surface. Who understand context. Who choose compassion over judgment. 5 years after that day in the courtroom, Anna was thriving. She had been promoted at work. Was now an office manager. Made $40,000 a year. It wasn't rich, but it was comfortable. She had moved to a better apartment. Could afford to buy the kids things they wanted, not just things they needed. Could take them on small vacations. To the beach. To amusement parks. Could give them a childhood. She stayed in touch with Judge Williams. Sent him Christmas cards. Updates on the kids. He always wrote back. Always asked how they were doing. Always encouraged her. The Williams Family Emergency Fund still existed. Had grown to over $1 million. Had helped hundreds of families. Judge Williams had recruited other judges, other lawyers, other community members. They met monthly to review applications, to decide who needed help, to make sure no one fell through the cracks the way Anna almost had. And Anna volunteered with them. She interviewed applicants, shared her story, offered hope to people who were where she had been, desperate, scared, at the end of their rope. She told them it could get better, that one moment of help could change everything, that they weren't alone. People asked her sometimes if she was ashamed of what she did, of stealing. Anna always said no, not anymore. She had been ashamed at first, deeply ashamed. But she had learned something important. Shame was a luxury she couldn't afford. She had done what she needed to do to survive, to keep her children alive. That wasn't shameful. That was love. And Judge Williams had taught her something else. That mercy mattered more than punishment. That understanding mattered more than judgment. That the measure of a society was how it treated its most vulnerable members. Its struggling parents. Its hungry children. Its desperate families. 10 years after standing in that courtroom in handcuffs, Anna stood at a podium at a fundraiser for the Williams Family Emergency Fund. She was a speaker, telling her story to hundreds of people. Rich people. Influential people. People who could help. She talked about stealing bread. About getting caught. About standing before a judge expecting the worst and receiving grace instead. About how one person's compassion had saved her family. Had given them a future. And she challenged the audience. There are families right now making the same impossible choices I made. Feed their children or pay rent. Buy medicine or buy food. They need help. Real immediate help. Not bureaucratic processes that take months. Not judgment about their choices. Just help. The room was silent. Anna could see tears. Could see people moved by her words. Judge Williams is here tonight, Anna said. He's the man who chose mercy over punishment. Who saw a desperate mother instead of a criminal. Who changed the trajectory of 4 lives with one decision. Please stand, Your Honor. Judge Williams stood. The room erupted in applause. He looked uncomfortable with the attention, but Anna could see he was moved. After the event, people approached Anna. Wanted to donate. Wanted to volunteer. Wanted to do something. Anna directed them all to the fund. Told them how to help. Thanked them for caring. As she drove home that night, Anna thought about how far she had come. From a woman stealing bread to feed her children to a woman helping others avoid that desperation. From a moment of shame to a lifetime of purpose. She pulled up to her apartment. It was late, but the lights were on. Maria was in college now. Studying social work. Wanted to help families like theirs had been. Jose was in high school. Talking about becoming a lawyer. Wanted to fight for people who couldn't fight for themselves. Sophia was in middle school. Still figuring out what she wanted, but she was happy. Healthy. Thriving. Anna walked inside. Her children were waiting. Homework spread across the kitchen table. They looked up and smiled. Mom, you're home. Anna hugged them. All 3 at once. Held them tight. These were her babies. The reason she had stolen. The reason she had kept fighting. The reason everything mattered. And she was grateful. For Judge Williams. For second chances. For a world that still had room for mercy. For the understanding that sometimes good people do desperate things and they deserve help, not punishment. If this story touched your heart, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more incredible true stories of compassion, justice, and second chances. Drop a comment below and let me know what city you're watching from. Have you ever been in a situation where you had to choose between right and survival? Have you ever received unexpected mercy when you needed it most? Share your story in the comments. Your experience might help someone who feels alone in their struggle. Remember that desperation doesn't make someone a bad person. Poverty is not a moral failing. And sometimes the most powerful thing we can do is choose understanding over judgment. Choose help over punishment. Choose to see the human being behind the circumstances. Thank you for watching. Thank you for caring. And remember, mercy changes lives. Compassion creates futures. And one act of grace can ripple forward through generations.